and welcome to the latest episode of Game On with Athletics Weekly and the Scotsman. You find us at day 5 of the Commonwealth Games. This is going to be day 2 of the athletics. We've had an eventful time already here at Scotstoun Stadium. Jasmine Collett is with me as well. Jasmine, we watched the athletics yesterday morning and last night as well. So an eventful start.
Yeah, a really eventful start. We had lots of medals to hand out. A few Scottish athletes there in front of a home crowd as well, including Megan Keith, who perhaps didn't get the performance that she wanted, but she's still to go in the 5,000, so she's got another chance at that. But yeah, some great performances all round on the track and on the field. Yeah,
you said Megan was in the 10,000 last night. Ninth wasn't what she was looking for, but you spoke to her afterwards, and she was saying the sort of the cat and mouse, the sort of the surges, the jogging, and then changes of pace, maybe sort of took their toll on her legs from the early stages.
Yeah, it was quite a weird race to begin with. It was very, very slow. They were essentially jogging around the first few laps, and I think Megan wasn't quite sure exactly how it was going to go. She did say when I spoke to her, she had a race plan in mind, and she was hoping that that stuck essentially, and it did for the first half of the race, and then the leaders began to kick and make early surges, in her words, and those early surges is what did it for her. She went with them, but then later on in the race her legs just couldn't keep going with those surges, which wasn't what she was after. But as I said, she's got the 5,000, so she's probably gone behind the scenes now, putting her head down and all the focus on that, because she did say in that interview she wants a medal at the end of the day. That's what she's here for. She wants a medal in front of a home crowd, so hopefully she can pick herself back up and get that in the 5.
And I stuck to my race plan up until I was as much as I could, and I didn't want to do anything before sort of 7-8k, and if it was still very slow at that point I would take it on myself, and just before that point it did seem to get moving, and I tried to cover it in a sustainable way, but I think those early surges they took more out of me than I thought they did, unfortunately, and my legs just turned to, I don't know what they turned to. They turned to something which didn't move very fast, unfortunately, so it just became survival to the end. But bearing in mind I've got to go again in 3 days' time, so yeah, I'm disappointed I couldn't put on a better show for the incredible crowd, who I felt like every single one of them were there for me this evening, and yeah, I'm really disappointed I couldn't do better, but I did what I could today.
Yeah, we did hear Flower of Scotland for the first time at Scotstoun last night, with Ben Sandilands winning the T20 1500. That was a convincing win in the end for him.
It was. I think he was lapping it up in the last lap. He kind of, he took that final surge in front of everyone. There was a point, a Scottish sandwich, as they said.
Yeah.
The Canadian guy in between Ben and Stephen Bryce as well. So it was a Scottish 1-3, which was good. They really enjoyed it at the end. They were doing their lap of honour as well, and I think the pair of them as well, they're close, they train together, so for them to stand on top of the podium together, and Stephen Bryce gets to get that bronze, but he also gets to hear the Flower of Scotland as well in Glasgow, was a special moment, and they both seem to be on top form, so yeah, it's great to see.
Yeah, 2 other athletes on top form, 2 English athletes who were accustomed to seeing at the top of the podium have maybe had their struggles over the past year or so, were Sophie Hahn and Thomas Young in the T38 100 metres. It was Thomas's birthday yesterday apparently, and he celebrated with Commonwealth gold. Sophie turning the tables on Olivia Breen from Birmingham 4 years ago, so they were sort of first and second and switched places last night. Again, 2 really convincing performances.
Yeah, I mean, what a birthday for Thomas. He was another one. You could tell he was enjoying it so much once he crossed that line. He got out the blocks okay, I would say, and then he seemed to just really hold off in that final few meters. And then Sophie as well with Livy. I think everyone was patiently waiting to see how that was going to go. Sophie won her title back that she won in 2018, and Livy was stood there in the silver medal position, which she seemed pretty happy with as well. I mean, you've got a gold from 2022 and then a silver again 4 years later, so yeah, they're both really pleased. Yeah, and some brilliant field events as well. The men's high jump was one of the first events
of the evening to start last night. It was one of the last ones to finish. It was a bit of an epic, but Kimani Jack, who we've been talking about a lot with Athletics Weekly, had a big breakthrough season. He's now got his first major medal of his career for Team England with bronze.
I know, what a season it's been for him. NCAA champion, 2:31, and now he's bronze medal at the Commonwealth Games. He's another that I spoke to in the mix zone afterwards, and he did say he wanted to win. That's what he was there to do. But at the end of the day, he's got to take a step back and realise, where he's at in his career. He's only at the beginning, and he's got a bronze medal in the high jump. And it's a great experience for him as well to be on that stage. He did say, I think in one of my questions, I said, you've had a great season so far, and he picked up on that and he was like, I'm glad you've said so far because there's still lots and lots to come. So he's still aiming for more this season. He's got the Europeans next, and he's definitely one to watch, and he's doing a lot for men's British high jump as well, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. And we should also mention the men's hammer final from last night. Ethan Katzberg of Canada can do no wrong. Broke the games record with his opening throw of the night and just stayed in control the whole way.
Yeah, I think he really took advantage of that. When he threw that, I think it was 80 meters and 97 centimeters. Yeah, that was phenomenal. I think the crowd were maybe hoping for him to keep going because that was the first throw, but for him to do that in the first throw was great. I think we knew that he was going to be at the top of the medal table. It was just a case of what he was going to throw. Amazing. And what a season you've had so far. There's still more to come, but you made your Diamond League debut, the NCAA title there as well. How do you reflect on everything that's happened?
First of all, what I'm going to say is I'm happy you said so far, because there's still more to do. There's still more heights to jump. But a lot of people ask me what have I changed this year and stuff like that. It's not really a thing of what I changed this year. It's been in the works for years and years before. People just don't see it. So I'm happy the results are slowly building, slowly getting better, and I'm just going to continue to work as hard as I can so the results can match as well.
And then, of course, we had Scotland's Chris Bennett as well, didn't we? Who is now in retirement after yesterday, but he had a great championships. Seemed quite emotional afterwards, I would say.
I saw him in the mix zone afterwards, and he was just reflecting about how much of a full circle moment it was for him. This is one of the first places he competed at. He trains here all the time, but he was just happy to sort of finish his career on his terms. He hadn't been able to before, but he got the sort of final moment he was looking for.
How much did it mean to you? The whole
Everything. Like, this sport in this city has given me so much, right? And it means everything to come back and finish it here. It's a special place, right? I don't think you get any better crowd than a Scottish crowd, and I think Glasgow's turned up for it, and it's amazing to see out there. Like, it's kind of weird as well, having been at Scotstoun when it's not set up for Common Games, coming out for Common Games, but like, I loved it, man. It was like 10,000 people there, and everyone just wants you to do well. Like, whether you finish dead last or whether you finish in a medal, everyone wants you to do well, and I think that's what you get with a Scottish crowd.
What's it taken for you to get back to this point?
A lot of sacrifices. I was fat, overweight, I was 164 kilos, I was done with the sport, and I've had to get down. I've dropped 39 kilos to get here, so I'm 125 kilos, lightest I've ever been, probably mentally the best I've ever been, and there's been times along the road where I didn't think I would do it. I've done it, and I genuinely didn't care where I finished tonight. It was about being here, being part of the atmosphere, being part of the team, and hopefully we've got more hammer throws coming through, because I've decided to do another Common Games. I think that's the legacy I would like, personally. And it was great to hear, I think Jeff mentioned Alan Bertram, like, I think that was great. So it's a full circle moment, but the right time for me to close the chapter on this part of my life.
And there are going to be more moments today. We've got busy morning sessions about to start as we speak, which will be the beginning of the women's heptathlon competition. Unfortunately, Katarina Johnson-Thompson isn't here for England. She would have been going after her third consecutive title. Probably leaves the door open for Kate O'Connor of Northern Ireland, who looks like the favourite.
Yeah, I think she's got huge Irish support behind her. ahead of today and tomorrow. She's one that it would have been exciting to see her and Katarina go head to head again, because Kate's really coming through. You know, she's got a lot of medals, but she still needs that Commonwealth gold medal. So to see her here, I mean, I know it's not in Ireland, but we're close enough, and I think there's quite a lot of Irish support. I've seen a lot of Ireland flags, so she will have that, and I think she'll hopefully bring it home to them.
Yeah, and another one to keep an eye on is England's Niamh Emerson, who was bright young thing, won European indoor silver behind KJT back in 2019 in Glasgow, and looks set for an incredible career. Has had injury struggles since, but is now on the way back.
Yeah, I think that makes it perhaps a bit more special for her as well. You know, she's coming back from those injury struggles, and hopefully she'll be able to pull through and to take out a good performance over the next few days. Those England medals that we got last night might boost her a little bit, you know, to see those England teammates on top of the podium. I'm sure she'll want that as well. Again, I don't want to keep going back to Katarina, but it would have been nice again to see them kind of going against each other and also pushing each other through. But yeah, it'll be a good one for her.
Yeah, and one of the main attractions of the programme tonight is the men's and women's 100-metre finals. We saw the heats yesterday morning. There were no major bumps in the road for those who had to negotiate that, but some of the bigger names are going to be involved. On the men's side, Kanyan Sola Ajayi, who ran 9.84 in London and looked very convincing in London, perhaps the one to watch?
Yeah, I would say so. He's kind of not come from nowhere, but you know, this season is clearly his season. He made that performance in London, got the crowds going. Another one I would say is probably Lachie Kennedy as well, from Australia. They got Australian gold yesterday in the athletics in that women's 10,000. So he'll be hoping to kind of add another one to that top of the medal table. It'll be nice to see them match up against each other, actually.
Yeah, there's sort of threats coming from everywhere. We can never discount the Jamaican challenge. Obviously, Jeremiah Azu was running very well for Wales in heats as well.
Yeah, I spoke to him yesterday. He some of them didn't compete in the heats yesterday. They got a bye straight through into the semi-final, but Jeremiah was one that we saw here yesterday. He just seems really proud to be in that Welsh vest, to be honest. He really, really loves it. He was very focused, had his game face on. He knows what he wants. He wouldn't tell me what that was, but I imagine it's on that podium. He's strong. He's perhaps not had the season of dreams like he did last year, but we've now got the Commonwealths and then the Europeans, so if it clicks now, then that's the perfect time for it to click.
Yeah, and another key member of that European team on the women's side is Amy Hunt. This will be the first chance we get to see of her today. Her 100-metre time has been coming down and down and down this year. Considering she's a 200-metre medalist, it's her 100 that's been going really well for her this year. Might not be ideal sprinting conditions in Scotstoun tonight, but she's going to be racing there. Her training partner Imani Lansiko as well. The English challenge is very strong.
Yeah, it's really, really strong. And as you said, training partners, they train together. Imani was competing yesterday, and I spoke to her in the mix zone. She has recently, compared to Amy, gone over to Italy into that setup with Marco, and she was saying, even training alongside Amy is so beneficial for her. She's someone that's come through back-to-back injuries. She's now recovered, say she's fully fit, and she's excited for today. But to see them putting on the English vest together whilst they're also training partners seems to hopefully work in their favour. Imani said, they're trained by Marco, of course, in Italy, that he's a really hard coach. He doesn't mess around, but he seems to have so much belief in them as well, which I think is what's working. He is here as well. He was in the warm-up zone yesterday with Imani, so he'll be rooting on the pair of them, and it would be nice for the both of them to both get successes together. Yeah,
absolutely. At the other end of the scale on the track is the men's 10,000 tonight. The emotional pull will go towards Andy Butchart, Scotland hope. He was an Olympian, again someone who's gone through a tough time with injuries and in terms of getting back to the top. But I saw an Instagram post from him say he's not going to leave anything out there tonight. He'll be going for it.
Yeah, I think he's someone this year, he's just really, really enjoyed it. You can see how much he's kind of, let loose a little bit. He's going to completely lap it up tonight in front of that Scottish crowd. I think he was 7th in Birmingham, but since then he's perhaps had this comeback, as people are saying about him. He's in the 5 as well, I believe. But yeah, to be in front of the home crowd will be amazing for him. We've got Scott Beattie as well for England. Them two went head to head, didn't they, at the UK champs earlier on in Birmingham, with Andy coming out with the silver, Scott just missing the medals in 4th place. So I think Beattie will be hoping to kind of perhaps get better in that position.
Yeah.
And yeah, they'll work together, I believe. But I think I'm excited to see Butcher as well, just to see how he runs it. It'll be interesting.
See how the crowd reacts to him as well.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and we've got 2 other field finals, very high quality women's high jump, which looks like being a battle between 2 Australians and the world champion Nicola Olaslager and Eleanor Patterson. We've obviously got British record holder Morgan Lake competing for England as well. She's no stranger to championships, so it could be another very intriguing sort of long high jump competition.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these girls are used to going up against each other, aren't they? But perhaps for Nicola and Eleanor Patterson, it's slightly a bit different today because they're going head to head. Just perhaps the 2 of them. They have their other competitors, of course, but them 2 are the ones that they're striving for that gold medal. So that'll be good to see. And then Morgan. Again, someone who perhaps hasn't had the season that she's been after yet, but if it clicks today, then it clicks. She was silver in 2018, I believe, and then went to 4th in Birmingham in 2022. So that 4th place will probably still be a bit frustrating for her, and she'll be wanting to increase that and to walk home with a medal today.
Yeah, we've seen from her British record she's capable of spectacular jumps, so it's case of trying to put them together in the championship final. And on the women's hammer, very much like the men's, Canada dominates. Cameron Rogers kind of wins everything in her path, but it'll be interesting to also see how England's Charlotte Payne goes, and also Scotland's Angela McCausland-Kelly, who's at her first Commonwealth Games, got her first taste of it all yesterday in qualifying.
Yeah, they got that taste yesterday, didn't they, in front of that crowd. So to come out today, they'll have kind of reset overnight and will know what they're hoping to do. With Rogers, I mean, she would have obviously watched Ethan yesterday getting that gold for Canada, so that's going to spur her on that little bit more. And again, she's probably someone that we're expecting to be at the top, but it's just how far can she throw? And then for, of course, the Brits, it's good experience as well. It's to match up against someone like Rogers and to go head to head. It's perhaps, I would say PB day, but with the weather, maybe not so much. You never know. Who knows? It could be sunny here in Scotstoun later on. Right now, it's dreeked, as we say. But yeah, it'll be a good hammer throw final, definitely.
Yeah. So lots to keep us busy, lots for us to report on for you guys, and we're looking forward to telling you all about it again in our next episode.